Because you've had DPDR for so long, you're probably thinking it's going to be so difficult or take so much time to be able to recover, and you could not be further from the truth. So in this video, I'm going to tell you 2 practical and easy things that you can do to make sure that you are on the right path to recovery and you can recover from DPDR as soon as possible. The first thing that you can do to give yourself a bit of comfort and to put things into perspective is to realize and truly understand that it doesn't matter how long you've had a DPDR, the road to recovery is the same. So it doesn't matter if you've had it for 10 years or 20 years or even 5 months or 2 weeks. The way to get out of it is exactly the same. And the reason that I know this is because it's not only through my own experience of my own recovery and my expertise in helping people recover too, it's also because lots of psychologists who have looked into this have said the same thing, including Claire Weeks in her book, Hope and Help for Your Nerves, where she actually says that the only difference between someone who has suffered from this a long time and someone who has suffered from this a short time is that the person who has suffered a long time has just had more time to gain bad memories and bad experiences of it. But the way out of it and the road to recovery is exactly the same, regardless of how long you've had it. So even if you have had this for a long time, you can still get out of this. All the evidence is there. The only thing that needs to shift is your mindset around this. If you're in the mindset of it's just too hard, it's too difficult, what's the point, I'm going to give up, all those sort of things, then that's the memory of the DPDR wearing you down. It doesn't actually have any semblance or any bearing on what you need to do to recover. So that leads on to point number 2, and probably question number 2 for you, which is, well, what do I actually have to do to recover? I've tried all this stuff, I've done all these things, and nothing has seemed to work. Now, I'd like to add a little caveat or a little asterisk to that. Nothing has seemed to work yet. That's the big thing, because I'd like you to think now about exactly what it is that you have done. So have you just sort of gotten on with life and just sort of ignored it? Have you actually gone to see a therapist? Have you read some kind of online resource or downloaded something to help you? There are a number of reasons why these things might not have helped you. And the first big one is that a lot of the online resources are from people who have recovered from themselves. And it's great that they're giving those resources. But what you've got to realize here is that these things that helped them recover helped them recover. They might not necessarily help you recover. And the reason I'm saying that is because some people say, practice acceptance, just accept where you are. Some people say, just ignore it and just keep going. Some people say when bad thoughts come in, replace them with other more positive thoughts. Some people say when bad thoughts come in, just sit with the thoughts and leave them. So there's all this conflicting information, and what worked for them might not necessarily work for you. The reason it might not help you is because everybody processes their anxiety and gets over their anxiety in a different way. So for example, with them, if meditating and eating healthy and going for a run every morning was good enough and enough for them to be able to process their anxiety, it might not be enough for you. So you've got to find the thing which is going to allow you to process your anxiety. And so the obvious one is to go see a therapist or go see a psychologist. And lots of people I speak to when I'm coaching, they have been to a psychologist or a therapist before, but it hasn't seemed to help them, and so they come to me and I'm the one that ends up helping them. There might have been other things that you've done as well, such as changing different routines or taking up new hobbies or new habits and things like that. And I want you to think about what is actually working for you and what isn't working for you, because we all get into the routine of stuff. Our mind loves to keep doing what it's already doing. It doesn't like change, even if that change is self-inflicted. It really doesn't like that at all. It just likes to keep doing what it knows. And so you can sort of fall into a bit of a slump where you just accept where you are. You just go, well, this is just my lot in life. I'm just somebody who has DPDR, and my DPDR is not going to be curable because of XYZ reasons. Giving up is one of the biggest reasons why people don't recover, because you've got to be active in your recovery. You've got to be involved in your recovery. You've got to be brave enough to question things and to be able to sit with the symptoms and be able to talk about the hard things that you need to talk about to be able to process your anxiety. Because remember, all of this is just caused by anxiety. And right now, your body and your mind has just been so blasted by anxiety for so long that you're so hypersensitized about everything. So even the littlest thing can just keep you in it. But once you start to desensitize yourself, once you start to mend your relationship with anxiety so it is just normal again, then all the symptoms will start to lift. And so the reason that you've had it for so long is because you haven't actually done this yet. This is what you need to do. You need to mend your relationship with anxiety, and you do that by processing your anxiety. Once you start to process this, then things do start to improve. If you want to have a chat to me about your recovery and what you're doing, perhaps what you're doing wrong, then book a free discovery call with me and let's have a chat and let's get you on that road to recovery so you can finally recover from this thing. If you are interested in that, the link is in the pinned comment and the description. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.